Hello everyone, it's Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and welcome to my channel. And we are on Monday, April 14th, and it is day 14 for L, the letter L in the ABC April 2025 challenge. And so use the hashtag ABC April 2025 to see what others are doing. And today I am going to do lace for the letter L. And what I want to do is, it's actually lace and trim samplers, I like to call them. You see 3 of these that are completed, and I have them on brown paper so you can kind of see what these look like. This one actually is a paper clip. Then we just have a little sampler here that's got several pieces of lace and a piece of fabric here with this attachment. And then we have another little piece here that has this trim with buttons on it, piece of lace and a little piece of sheer fabric. And that is what I wanted to show you how I did these today and just give you the idea about these. I have some laces over here, have some others over to the right here. So let's get started on this and let me show you what I'm using and how I do this. So what I use is ribbon crimps, I think they're called, and they are a jaw-like end that you would put on ribbon, and you find them in the jewelry section. So this is like if you had a ribbon choker, you would put this on either end, and then you can fasten a chain, because you can see there is a little loop right there, and you can fasten a chain to each end to use as a choker. And I have taken this one, and I've got brass and copper color. I've taken this one and added a Tim Holtz tiny gem clip, paper clip, to the top of that. You also could add a bead to that. You also could use a jump ring through that little loop. And you also, like I did on this one, you can use a bulb pin at the top and add a bead. And this you can then pin to your page or to a piece of fabric or whatever in your junk journal. So let me show you how I do these. I have this brown paper, although I realize that the brown doesn't show up my fasteners very well, but we'll proceed on. And let's show you what I do. You can make these as long or as short as you want. I kind of like for it to be, found my scissors here, I like for it to be a little snippet kind of thing. I like for my back piece to be a little more solid. That's why I have a little piece of fabric on each one of these. And then this one is lace on top of burlap. So, and that's a ribbon. And so I like for that back piece to have a little more stability. I don't know why, I just feel like it might need to. So I'm going to use, for one of these, I will use this piece here. And I like the longer one, so let's make it about the length of that, which is, just so you will have an idea, is almost 4 inches long. And you use whatever lace. The lace can be wider than these little ribbon clamps are. All of these ribbons are a little bit wider. This one will be a little bit wider. So it doesn't matter about that. I like to use also, if you'll notice on all of these, I like for them to be different lengths. And this one has a little piece of decorative dangle kind of lace, and then this one has the button trim on it, and I don't know that I'd call that a lace. That's probably more of a trim, but I like to put a little something on top that's a little decorative. I also like to use different colors so they show up. Now I don't like that on that because that's too different, but let's try this one on here. So I like to use a little bit of different color. Like I said, I like for them to be different lengths. So I want to use this whole length. So I've decided I will make this one be about 4.5 inches, a little somewhere around that neighborhood. here. And then I'll put this little piece of lace, and then I also like to put, I could put another one of these on top of that. I could do, what else do I have? I could do, have this little pink lace here. I could do a piece of that. I think I'll cut this in half here and use this little section on top of that, or I could use this little section on top of that. I actually like that one better, I think. Let's try that one. I also have this little trim that could be used underneath that or as the top piece. Ooh, I kind of like that also. Kind of like that. Also could use just a little section off of this. So we'll cut it off here. This is a Hobby Lobby lace. So I could use a little section of that on top. If I didn't want to add any color, if I just wanted it to be all neutral, I can add, let's do this. Let's do this white one on the bottom, which is the more solid. And I guess that's called a trim. Then we put a little piece of ecru lace on top, and then I'm going to put a little piece of this lace on top of that. And I'm going to cut that one right here. Make it shorter. I like, oh, I just twisted my back just a little bit. I like for each of the colors to be a little bit different, and I also like for it to be different lengths. So let's do that. I also don't mind, like on this one, I made it wonky on purpose so you could kind of see each layer without lifting it. And this idea came to me because, as a lot of you know, I was an outside salesperson for a wall covering company, and we would have wall covering samples sometimes, or fabrics that went with wall coverings sometimes in a layered fashion such as this. So I like this. I'm not going to do this one wonky. I don't think I want to do that. And also, I like to do a little bit of glue just to kind of hold it there while I try to get it crimped. Just so I don't have to try to do all that with my hand. We'll just put a little piece, a little bit of, I'm going to put that one over to the side just a little bit of glue up here to hold this. It doesn't have to hold it long because we're going to be clamping it. And then let's put this little piece on top of that. Just like that, to kind of top that off. And I like this idea. It's a nice little addition, and you can do this and then clip it to a page with the grip, or you can glue it. You can go ahead and clip it, then you can glue it to the page. So you've got your layers here. I've got 4 pieces, as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put this on here like this. And I tell you what, it is a little fiddly. That's why I like, let me get this off here. That's why I like the, well, come on. That's why I like the pen or the little gem clip, little paper clip, to hold this with, because it is tiny and it is easier to hold when you have a little more to hold on to. So we're going to see, I staggered those so you can see each piece a little bit. And they do fabric samples in, you know, furniture stores and things when you go look and you're picking out a fabric to go on a sofa or something. We're going to put that just like that. And then we're going to take some pliers and we're just going to crimp it. Just like that on either side. And then you have your little lace sample. And there you are. So you can just put that right into a book. I didn't get that one on there as good as I would like. I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't get it on there good. I'm not sure. You know what? It's going to hold. That just makes it a little wonky. It's okay. We'll do another one with this. And then I'll do another one in a different way. So let's see. Let's start with this piece on this one. And let's make it about that long. And then let's add this little piece. No, that's too much the same color. Let's see what else I have. I can do this little piece of this. Like that. So it doesn't have to be the same on both sides. So we do that little piece. And then let's do that little pink lace that we had up there. Let's just do that. Or is that too? Yeah, I don't like that. That's too much. Let's look at, lay this one over here where you can see it. Yeah, I didn't get that on there good. So that's the Perils. You got to be sure you have it on there, stuffed in there all the way. But it holds and it'll be fine. Do I want to do that? And then let's put this little piece of fabric behind, because I'm not liking the. Yeah, that's better. I like that better. Do we want to do the pink, or do I want to do something else? Let's see what else I have. Oh, let's do maybe one of these. I've got this button trim. We could do a little button on there. No, that's a little too wide. I could do this, another one of these. This one. Could do one of those. Nope. Or I could just leave it like that. Oh, I know. Let's do these. I have these they're little trim, little pieces of trim too. Little vintage flowers. Let's do that up there. Okay, let's try gluing that again. Now, you don't have to use these lace crimped ends or these lace little fastener thingies. You can use staples. You can use a piece of decorative fabric. Just a little piece just to make a little, you know. I didn't glue this one. Let's make sure that's in there. It's not. Like I said, it's a little fiddly, but I think I've got it now. So I just clip this end. Then let's make sure everything is in there. On this side it looks like it is. There. Clip that in, and then I like to clip it all the way, mash it all the way across. The pliers doesn't scratch up or ruin your piece. And there we have it. Another little lacy scrap sampler. Now let's do one. And I'll do one this. I'm going to make this be the top. So let's start with that, so I know where we're headed. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this. Let's do a wider one. And I'll use a little bit of this. Just use that whole thing. I'm going to make that lighter, that dark. I'm going to make that be longer. It's got a little bit of raggedy at the end. You probably can't see it. Sorry. So I'm just cutting off that little torn edge. And then we also could put the little pink piece up here, like that, if we wanted to. I kind of like that. And then we can staple it. It can be with, I'm going to actually shorten this one. We can use that on something else. So this one, let's stagger these because this is a wide ribbon. And I don't remember, because I bought these little ribbon crimp things a good while back. I have done a video like this before. That's in my list of videos somewhere. But I thought this was the perfect thing to go with the lace for Elle today. But we're going to do, and I'm going to use, you know what? Maybe we should use a little piece of paper. We can do that. Oh, you know what else you could use? Oh, this is good. Let's do this. I've got this little piece of paper right here. I don't know where it came from, but it looks like it would be the perfect thing to fold over. I don't know where this came from, but we're going to fold it right in the middle like that. And you can just place that over, just like that. And it'll work the same as the crimp. So you don't have to have the crimps to do this. I'm going to use the tiny attacher. A regular stapler would work, but I don't have one handy. I have my tiny attacher handy. So let's staple it in 2 places. And there you have it. So that's another little lace sampler that you don't have to have the crimps. You also could just staple it without the little piece of paper across the top of it. I like that. And it makes it look more a sample looking. You also could then put, this would be cute. You could stamp a number across there. Or you could put one of these, which is Tim Holtz. And I think I might like that. So go with the pink. You can just glue that right across. That'll give you the impression that is a sample, and this is the sampler number or whatever. You can ink this or not. I think I'll give it a little ink. Just a little bit. I hope I was in frame on all of this. But let's just put that down. Oh, see, I like that. That's cute. So let's get a little glue. And we'll put that down right across the staples here so you won't see those. But the staples, okay for the staples to show. I don't mind that. Excuse me. But let's just put that right across there. You can also stamp on it. It doesn't have to be numbers. It can be something. It can be anything. If you wanted a word or just sample or whatever, you could type a word on your computer and print it out on a piece of paper. There we go. Okay, so we made these 3 today. You see how quick and easy they are. I had these 3 already. And you see how quickly and easily they are to make. And you don't have to have the crimp. You can just staple them, and then you can just staple them, make it and staple it to a page on your journal. No fuss, no muss. Very easy to make, very quick to make. Nice little embellishment. I put it on the edge of, have a pocket, and then I'll have it attached to the top of the pocket hanging down. It may hang down below your page even on your journal. So that's what I have for you today. That's Elle, the letter L on the hashtag ABC April 2025 challenge. And this is lace sample snippets. So thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll try this out. Thanks for watching. Bye.